3-point sniper, basketball IQ, tenacious player, man.
And when he got hot, it didn't matter if he was on him or not.
He just turned around and launched it. And Tobin say, off, that's off. He say, awful good.
And I said, oh, it's true about this boy.
Why do you think people hate on Larry Bird?
He's white.
Yeah, a little bit of nigga.
Yeah, he was different now. He was different now. Larry was different now.
See, like when I played, Larry Bird was the biggest shit talker.
Yes.
But I always say he was shit talking, but he was backing it up. So really he wasn't shit talking. He was just telling you what he was going to do.
He was a quiet shit talker.
Yeah.
Because Larry Bird, if you remember, his shot used to go off the TV screen.
Yeah.
He used to shoot so high.
Yeah,
See, he had a high arc. He would go off the TV screen. It just drops.
If Larry Bird played in this era, I think he'd be in Europe.
Yeah, he said that same stupid shit back in the mid-'80s when he said that if he was a black player, he'd be just another good guy. Get the fuck out of here. Larry Bird was the truth, man. Again, most people said wasn't athletic, couldn't jump, said he couldn't even jump over a phone book was the joke.
He couldn't jump over a phone booth.
Larry was the truth, man. 3-point sniper, basketball IQ off the charts. Tenacious player, man. Would tell players what he was going to do.
Oh, yeah. Trash talking was on a different level.
Trash talking like a motherfucker. 3 championships, several MVPs, Hall of Fame, Olympic medalist. Stop it.
When I first met him, I said, all right, I'm going to see this dude, this white cat can really go like he said.
Because the verdict is always out on white boys that can hoop. With all due respect. It's always out.
It's respect. This ain't nothing bad. So I said, let me see what he can do.
But Larry had something that most white boys don't have. Just say that. Just keep it real.
Man,
Larry was different now. Larry was different now.
He had a little bit of nigga.
Yeah, he was different now. He was different now. Larry was different now.
That boy, he could play, man. He turned it out. We played on a team in college in a tournament together. This is the first time I ever sat on the bench. Him and I were on the bench. And we were like, the guys in front of us wasn't better than us, but Kentucky head coach was coaching the team, so he started 3 guys from Kentucky. So we said, okay. But when we got in the game, we turned it out. But I saw this dude eat Jack Givens up. He was player of the year that year.
Kentucky, right?
Yeah, from Kentucky. And Larry Bird was just slicing and dicing them. And I said, oh, I called home. I said, it's true about this boy. I was calling everybody, this dude can play.
Yeah.
And so that was my first time seeing him, and then to be out on the court with him in college for that national championship game, and then, of course, what happened in the NBA. But I would say that what a blessing it was. He ended up in Boston, and then I ended up out here. My personality was LA, Hollywood. His personality was Boston.
Right.
And it worked for the whole league, you know, so everything was good.
You know, people ask me all the time, who's the hardest player? And I always say him. I played against Michael Jordan, George Gervin, Andrew Toney. And those guys, when they pass the ball, they have a tendency to take a break for a second. Larry never was going to take a break. Larry was going to go get an offensive rebound. He was going to go set a back pick. He was going to do something to impact that possession. So that's why he was the
But yet, mentally and the way that his work ethic was, he was way above the game. He was way above everybody else.
Larry didn't have the speed, couldn't jump, but he could shoot and he could work. He was big, strong, Buford Pusser type. He had a lot of skills. He could pass. He was ambidextrous. You had to be like on him. You couldn't give him any space. And when he got high, it didn't matter if he was on him or not.
Larry Bird was already from French Lick. He was born, and you know, I love the story he told. You know, I used to go over to where the black players play. Yeah. And all the guys, and Larry says, you know what? I wasn't afraid of them, but I just wanted to play with them because I knew that was the best, and I always wanted to compete against the best. So when you look at that from his grounding and the foundation that he laid for himself and being the player he became, going to Indiana State and losing the Magic, a black player. I think that kind of put that desire in him to even want to become better. But all that is made early on when he's going out competing against black players in the hood. You know, he's going over to the other side of town to play basketball because he wanted to play with the best. And I'm not saying there were any white players that weren't the best, but that was his thinking at that time. Larry Bird was one of the best because, you know what? Every game, every year, he was going to do something to try to win it.
Like, are you kidding me? Larry Bird in this era?
We hadn't seen it
Who's
then.
going to be matched up against Larry Bird? Karl Anthony Towns.
That's a nightmare, man.
For Karl Anthony Towns. Because that dude can play basketball. Really play basketball.
No, 100%.
Really play basketball.
100%.
Hey, bro, really play basketball.
That's not what the question was.
Really play basketball, and he mean, and he like.
Oh, he talking wild too.
And he mean, and he.
But I'm saying, what is he gonna do? But what is he gonna do with KD? You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, KD is
what is he gonna
What
do?
is KD gonna do with Bird? Bird is unguardable.
I was just about to ask that.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
No, yeah.
That's what
I
I'm
don't
saying.
think I want to see
Bro,
what
you
he'll
don't
do
want to
to
see
KD.
that.
I don't think I would.
How many times in the eras of all the dope stars, when they match up, ain't nobody cracking each other like that?
As a player, I'll put him up against anybody.
Right.
Especially in a playoff series.
Right.
So nasty. Pass it, talk shit like crazy,
Yeah.
but quietly. Only to you. Just to you, and which messes you up more.
Yeah.
But as a coach, we're playing preseason, Larry's first year coaching. We're leaving Indiana, going to Nashville for a preseason game. It's like 10:58, everyone's on the plane. David Craig, the trainer, comes up to Larry. Travis and Dale, they're coming from the jetway or whatever. So the plane's running down, taking off. Travis and Dale are running after the plane. Running, literally. We took off. Everyone's like, save Dale, save Dale. After that day, though, no one ever laid again. That was preseason, which was perfect timing.
Well, set the standard.
But Larry was so blunt and to the point. Halftime, you'd be like, you fucking stars don't start playing, man. In 5 minutes, I'm taking your ass out. I remember a game in Milwaukee. I'm like 4 for 9, whatever. You're not playing great, but not. He said, Molly, come here. You gonna make a fucking shot or what, man?
I mean, Larry Bird basically taught me how to track something. It was my second game of my career, and Cotton Fitzsimmons started. And I'm scared to death already. Bird walks out at the jump, and the veterans on my team said, Eddie, just don't pay attention to him. So I minded my own business on the jump. And he walks out, and he just stands next to me, and he leans over and he looks at me. He said, do you honestly think you gonna guard me, motherfucker? Curse that. Like, what? I just didn't say nothing. Then he stands up and he looks over at our bench and he looks at Cotton. You all think this rookie gonna guard me? Man, I'm gonna bust you up, just right in my ear.